It's holiday gift buying in full swing. Joining us right now with a view of the economy through his lens as a bookseller. James Daunt is here. He's Barnes & Noble's CEO. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
And I was just thanking you because I've been in a whole bunch of Barnes & Nobles over the past couple months as I've been selling my book. But how do you see the book business as an indicator of the economy these days, in the sense of how many people are actually buying books these days?
Books, thankfully, are doing really well and have kept on going up ever since the pandemic. It's sort of one of those unlikely things. But 2025 has been a fantastic year for us. I think the naysayers might say, well, books do really well in recessions, but either which way, we're very happy.
What do you think is driving it? I mean, I have learned all about TikTok and what they call book talk. How much of that is where the growth is coming from? Where do you think, what do you think is inspiring all these people to buy books?
I think if the publishing is strong, and it's been very good this year, a nice spread of books, but also that people, once you get into the habit of reading books, and that clearly happened during the pandemic, you retain that habit, and it's accumulative. So I think people are enjoying that, and they're enjoying coming into bookstores to find the books.
What about people who are buying audiobooks? And where does Barnes & Noble lie in the audiobook business?
I think audiobooks and indeed ebooks as well are sort of feed physical books. So the more people are listening to books, you can't read a book as you're going for a jog, you can't read a book when you're on your exercise machine, but you're likely then to pick one up. So I think the boom in audiobooks has been very helpful actually for physical books.
We were just talking about the word affordability. The affordability of books, or lack of affordability. Prices are up, right?
This is where books really win. You can go to a restaurant, it's gone in an hour or two, and you never get it back. With a book, hours and hours and hours. $19.29 is going to take you what? You're a massively quick reader, 10 hours, more, several days, maybe even a week plus. And then you've still got a book you can gift, you can look at on your shelves. So books are fantastic.
And have the tariffs impacted the book business in a big way?
Virtually not at all. On paper a little bit, but it's been very, very minor.
And then what about in terms of labor right now for you, just in terms of the staffs at all of these different bookstores? What are you paying? Do they feel the affordability crunch themselves?
For sure. And I think there's a huge pressure on employers to raise pay. Everything costs more. So if you're not paying your people more, they're going to be feeling that.
And how much of the bookstore culture is now around just coming in? I mean, some of the, because I've now been so many Barnes, and they're so different. Each one really is very different. The kinds of books, but there's some where everyone's just hanging out, just peeling through the books. There's others where you don't touch the books as much. There's others where they have coffee, so people are hanging out. I mean, how do you see that in terms of what the store is supposed to be?
The success of Barnes & Noble, and it has been extraordinarily successful over the last few years, I think it's been allowing the store teams to really curate their stores, but also present their stores and inject personality into their stores, each according to their own community. And stores are places to meet. They are very vibrant, dynamic places. And booksellers generally are vocational. They believe in the power of books. They believe in the purpose of selling books to people of all ages.
And how many people, dare I ask you, this is a terrible question, how many people do you think actually walk into a Barnes & Noble, check out the books, and then go to Amazon?
I think some do, but I think then you realize that you didn't buy as good a book. It may be the same book, but it isn't invested with the emotion and the fun that you get from walking out of a true bookstore. It's something that independent bookstores really benefit from as well. Where you buy your book does invest something intangible in the book itself.
How important was it? That was the other thing I was going to mention. Because each store seems different, there is almost an independent-like bookstore mentality to them, which is very different than what I recall a decade or two ago. And so when you walk into a Barnes & Noble, it sort of does feel very independent. Do you think you're competing against the independent bookstores? Do you think you're competing against Amazon? Who do you think is the competitor set today?
I think each of us works in our own community. So I think we're doing exactly the same as the independent bookstores. We don't directly compete with them, try not to. Unfortunately, so many bookstores have closed in the United States that there are vast sort of deserts of bookstores, and that's where we're opening our new stores. But I think it is, right. Physical book is competing with online.
How many new stores this year?
We did 67.
67, and how many planned for 26 and 27?
68.
Okay.
I just like going up.
You just like going up by one or two?
Just by one or two.
And which markets where you feel like things are really hopping?
Well, we've been actually opening across the nation. We've been putting them in very remote places. We've been adding into these densely populated East, West Coast, Midwest,
but
everywhere.
There's not one area where you go, oh my goodness, Austin, Texas is taking off. We got to get on every corner in Austin. I'm just making this up.
Yeah, Texas and Florida, the population booms have fueled a lot of stores there in particular. Big states, lots of population
Any
growth.
stores where you're saying, you know what, we got too many stores?
We're closing almost none, and where we do close, we always relocate. So, it's good times for booksellers.